prayers and condolences to anyone that has been affected by COVID-19. I sincerely hope that everyone is staying healthy and staying safe in these troubled times. I am not a medical expert, so all I will say is follow anything that you can from accredited medical institutions on advice on what to do going forward. All I will say is be safe, be happy, and be healthy in these rather questionable times. Now on to less dramatic things, the podcast. Hello, one and all, and welcome back to another episode of Alternative Input, the only podcast on the internet, and I am here with an introduction I was told to hold until next time, so I did my homework this time. I am here with my two favorite quirks this side of the internet. To my left, hold on, I need to warm up the delivery here. To my left, Wally, also a quirk and superhero named Stop and Watch. His is a perception quirk that makes it so anyone within a 100-mile radius desperately needs to know what time it is. But upon looking at a clock, digital or analog, it tells the wrong time every time.
Oh, the Clock King would have a field day with me in a crossover.
Your only weakness is that if someone can tell the time by looking at the sun and knowing if it's sunrise or sunset, then you can't trick them.
So, like, it only works indoors then, or
that, or if someone's too stupid to be able to figure out if it's noon or if it's dusk or dawn.
Hmm.
Well, that's perfect. Everybody's under quarantine.
Exactly. You see? So you'll be tricking everyone, and then Shoto will show up, and he'll know what time it is.
But not
or you'll be fighting.
I want Sun Eater's quirk.
Yeah, that'd be pretty good. And to my left, I'm a bit more proud of this one.
I'm also to your left?
Yes, also to my left.
Oh no, he can't tell time.
I have no idea what time it is. You know what time it is. It's time for Pierce-a-Fist. His quirk is a handgun. But the quirk involving it is that upon shooting someone, you not only get the benefits of shooting them with a handgun, you also inject whatever your side of whatever conflict you were having with that person is.
I'm sorry?
So it doesn't resolve the issue, but they at least understand why they're being the asshole in this scenario.
What? Yeah.
And it notes that you're morally opposed to it.
Okay, then. I need to catch up on My Hero, apparently.
That sounds more like a JoJo stand than anything.
I was going to say, I actually mistook what he was saying at first and was thinking of JoJo and everything because I saw a funny JoJo thing online. I was like, oh, we're doing I forgot we were doing a JoJo thing today. I'm really smart.
I don't know. I thought it was funny.
It was funny. It's just I'm fucked at the moment and everything, cognitively and everything else.
That's fair. We all are. In times of the apocalypse, we all are.
What are you talking about? Everything's fine. Society isn't actively crumbling around us. No,
it's fine. So, anyway, gentlemen, I don't know about you, but in these questionable times, at the very least, at least until things got really bad, I had some time to play some video games.
I'm playing video games right now.
Oh!
And I'm loving it.
That's cheating. That's cheating. Kick him. Kick him off the team.
We don't actively play video games while we're podcasting. We do that when we're not podcasting, Wally.
It's called multitasking. If you knew how to tell time, you'd know how vital that is.
Oh, that's very true. I keep looking back at it and it keeps saying 5 o'clock and then 7 o'clock, and I'm very confused.
Actually, you might be 100 miles from me, so I think my quirk could affect you.
Let's see. I guess unless you guys have a burning interest in doing it, I guess I'll go first, just because my list is probably a bit shorter than your guys's.
Sure. Did we do the intro podcast noise, by the way, thing?
I did not. I'm gonna have to add any of that in post since I'm not at my desk at the moment.
Oh, okay. I was confused. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, there'll be a bit more post for these.
You can just cut this later. You can cut all of this.
Oh, I don't plan on cutting literally any of this. So
You're gonna cut it though, you fat
see.
bastard.
We will see. Anyway, so not directly video game related, but I will say, in case anyone needs a good show to watch on Netflix, Beastars was just released on Netflix last Friday, I think.
What the fuck is Beastars?
Beastars, so it is an anime that was weekly airing in Japan, but due to America, Netflix's continuing conflicted opinion of airing things weekly other than fucking reality shows, I had to wait until now, even though that show ended in like December in Japan. And the central premise of it, I would actually describe it as so BoJack Horseman, but reverse Twilight.
What?
So everyone is animal people.
Yeah.
Human beings do not exist. In fact, it sort of looks like our entire evolutionary chain just never happened. Because
like no apes or anything?
No, I have not seen any. I have not seen any gorillas or chimps. I have seen an orangutan and I have seen a lemur, but I have not seen chimps or apes. So basically, it almost seems like, and they do mention dinosaurs still. So it almost seems like after the extinction event, basically every animal on planet Earth got thumbs and tool use.
Okay.
But basically, I would describe it as so Edward, Mr. Pretty Vampire Boy, but he's the awkward high schooler in the scenario. And then Bella is the sexually aggressive, very confident person in this relationship. That people are actively telling him would be a very bad idea because she is a rabbit and he is a gigantic wolf.
And he might eat her face or something?
Yeah, basically.
So there's still like carnivore systems and everything in the society?
So it's weird because there is also, like, it is considered a social taboo to show any aggression to herbivores.
Okay.
The show is very
Zootopia the anime.
Kind of. I'm going to say kind of. I think it touches on things that Zootopia doesn't. I also think Zootopia touches on things that it does not. If anything, I would actually say it's my new favorite, because I don't really know what genre to really define this as other than the love story, I guess. But it's my new favorite. Wolf's Reign has actually been dethroned, in my opinion, by Beastars, because I really enjoy shows that can use the
Your son also enjoys Beastars.
He does also enjoy Beastars, although I didn't let him watch parts of it because definitely a bit more of a M rating to that show than some other anime. But basically, I really enjoy shows that can use the themes of likening human consciousness and human action to animalistic things and dissecting them back and forth like that, making analogies and metaphors that in some cases are going to seem off the wall, but in all reality are trying to highlight man's nature and shit like that.
We are all aminals at heart. We are all wolf men. I'm trying to... Like most things that I do with things that Doug mentions that I don't understand or remember, or things that he references and everything, I just like Google search what he's talking about and everything as he's saying it. And now I'm just looking at, when you Google Beastars and everything, under images and everything, you get images of like the rabbit in her bra and everything. So I'm really confused as to what the fuck anything is.
Like I said, she is sexually aggressive, though she is a rabbit. So in some cases they are highlighting base instincts of animals to begin with. There's also a fox in the show that is not trustworthy because he is a fox.
Tricky little bastards.
Exactly. It's
Don't
interesting.
buy the counterfeit art, kids.
It's also the entire show is CG, which I am rarely that big of a fan of, but I do actually think it uses its clearly more limited budget in a better way and actually cuts to 2D animation or different styles of animation at unexpected times that I actually think adds to the production, actually.
And if you had to like give a one sentence elevator pitch for like what the plot is moment to moment, what would it be?
One sentence?
Or like something very limited.
A teenage boy finding himself in a society that is unbalanced and probably prone to collapse.
Fascinating.
Yeah, they bring up subject matter that I wasn't expecting, and in some cases did actually catch me off guard, such as a part in which the black market still exists, but that's actually 4 scenarios where like there's a scene where a homeless antelope is selling his fingers to carnivores to eat for money.
Fuck.
Yeah, they don't show it on screen, but yeah, that was not something I was expecting. So
how much of this show exists now? Did you say there's multiple seasons?
There's 12 episodes. I
Okay.
don't know if they're actually counting it as a full season or a half a season, but as far as I understand, there is a season 2 confirmed currently. So
Interesting.
And for what it is worth, I listened to about half the show with the sub and about half the show with the dub. I think both is good. I like the main character, the main wolf character in dub better, but the sub for the rabbit is great. So. But yeah,
low column A, low column B.
Low column A, low column B. But yeah, I guess if I was going to give one warning about the show, it might give some initial furry impressions. Not trying to be prejudiced against anyone that's into that, but there's only about 2 or 3 scenes that I actually felt slightly uncomfortable. But it doesn't really go into like full furry stuff like on a regular basis for what it's worth. And for anyone who is squeamish, there is a fair amount of blood in the show, and there is a semi-consistent reoccurrence of a heartbeat. So for anyone that is bothered by that stuff, I will put that as a warning too.
He put that warning out just for me because he knows me.
Yeah.
I'm a huge coward, kids.
That's fine.
That's okay. So is Luigi, and look where he's gotten.
Yeah,
I can't fight ghosts.
Franchise. Not yet.
Not ever.
Give it some time.
No.
Gotta finish school first.
But yeah, so not video game related, but Beastars I did really enjoy it. It was a nice, easy watch. So
the Monstars show.
Yeah, the Monstars show. It's fun. Let's see. As far as video games, I played an indie game that I found very charming called Death and Taxes.
I've seen that, but I haven't looked at it in detail.
So it is definitely very Papers, Please inspired.
Mm-hmm.
In that you are the newly incarnated Grim Reaper.
Mm-hmm.
And your boss named Fate is just a like stuffy like British office man. And he's like, now go about your business, Death. And you're like, okay. And then there's like just melancholy like do 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 music playing in the background while you get stacks of paperwork and you get quotas of blank number of people need to die or whatever because you have to keep the chain of balance of alive people and not alive people.
Mm.
It's cute. It's funny. I really enjoyed my time with it. A single playthrough of the game took me, I want to say about 5-6 hours. There are multiple endings actually, which was one thing that I was curious about ahead of time. And basically it seems to work under a similar 999 style of there's a good, a neutral, and a bad ending. I got the bad ending because I accidentally killed the wrong political leaders and ended the entire world in a robot apocalypse.
Sick.
Yeah, and I also got fired.
Oh, naturally.
That'll happen.
That'll happen.
So does killing robots add to your kill count, or does it have to be humans only?
It's so funny you asked that. There are no robots you get to kill, but there are some random events that can happen. Like at one point, so there's a different department for different things, mortality rates, including solar systems and stars and stuff like that. Somebody got my paperwork messed up, and somebody handed me a pile of plants. I had to decide who lived and died. So for what that's worth.
Well, you've increased my interest.
Yeah, same here.
It's a very fun game. I had a lot of fun with it. Markiplier's in the game, which I thought was funny. I think he marked himself as a homeless person. But also, it does have a nifty little Twitch feature where you can actually have your Twitch chat weigh in on whether someone should live or die or not, which I thought was kind of neat.
Okay.
But yeah, art
Twitch
style
plays
is.
death of taxes, everyone dies.
Did you guys see that fucking highlight of Twitch plays Breath of the Wild and beat it?
I still haven't. I've been meaning to, though. I heard it's pretty amazing.
Oh, Twitch. I love you and hate you.
I mostly hate you.
Yeah, it's a cute little game. The art style is very sketchy oil paintery, I guess, is very monotone. I would actually say accents of color are supposed to like actually stand out to you. They're important for you to pay attention to. So that I would definitely say is a bit of a conscious choice. Otherwise, it's $12. They were nice enough to send me an early code, so thank you. And yeah, I think it's good.
Lovely. Anything else you've been playing?
One other thing I could probably talk about. So I got a little confused about this, but I played a game called Hellpoint. So this is being put out by oh boy, what the name is literally on the tip of my tongue, but it's the Hello Neighbor people, Secret Neighbor, the people that put that
Tiny Build, Cradle Games.
Tiny Build, that's it. Tiny Build is putting this out. It is an indie Dark Souls game.
Looks like it.
And it's 3D. So I always worry about indie developers trying to tackle actual Souls-likes because I feel like in some cases a lot of people don't account for like how much work a true Souls-like actually is.
I think you just put in like Zelda combat and like 3 or 4 linear levels and call it done.
Yeah.
Ramp up the difficulty, you're good to go.
Yeah.
One-hit deaths, you're all good. But for what it's worth, I did play this. So what I was confused about was I thought somebody sent me a full game, but what they sent me actually was a vertical slice like side episode thing before the proper release. And it's not the full game, and they're not calling it a demo. So I guess I'm not going to call it a demo.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it's called like Feast of Therarian or something like that. But basically, it's a vertical slice. And you know what? I'll personally say I didn't hate it. I actually think if they tighten up the player movement a little bit, large bits of the design actually like they work. They're developers that actually like pay attention to little things. Like you can mash your Estus button and use it multiple times, like you know, just FromSoft eventually listened to with Dark Souls 3. And there's also just like little bits of encounter design and the way their enemy AI works that I actually think they might actually be onto something.
What do you mean?
Well, I just like I noticed in a lot of cases, like I was able to use similar tactics to Dark Souls 1 in terms of crowd control or baiting out enemy attacks, and like the dodge roll actually feels good. Like there's just a little attention to detail that I think works, and I think they might actually be paying attention to. So, you know, if they tighten up the player movement a little bit, I actually think this game could be pretty good. that little side game, I'm a little confused by it, if only because I went through I leveled up 25 times in the course of playing the hour-long little section. So
Oh wow.
I'm kind of yeah, I'm not thinking that's going to be in the full release, but for what it's worth, it seemed fine. It's you're basically the premise is basically oh, what the fuck is that? So you're in it's Dead Space basically. It's you're stuck on a fucking space station that went dark forever ago, and you're going there to find out what's happening, and horrible goo monsters from beyond the veil of time and space happened. So
I was gonna say, I'm looking at screenshots now, and I'm having a hard time coming down with a consistent style or setting or anything. It feels very techy and magic-y at the same time.
Yeah, I
And
mean
that's
it's
Magic.
but yeah, basically it's Dead Space if they leaned a little heavier in the otherworldly category of their stuff instead of just parasites. Like there's a part where there's just thing style hands walking around attacking you. So
All right.
But yeah, I played it. My opinion is inconclusive currently since I haven't looked at the full game, but I'm hopeful for it because I didn't hate my time with it. So,
All right.
Good.
Then. Anything else you want to talk about?
not currently.
Roger that. Well, you want to go?
Yeah, I'll go. I've got about 3 games I can talk about today.
Mm-hmm.
So, first one, I picked up the Mystery Dungeon remake a while ago.
Woo!
I've
How
been
is
enjoying it.
Awesome.
It's nice that Pokemon is willing to bring some of their older non-main series titles back. Hopefully that's the start of something good.
Completely agree.
Glad you folks are enjoying it.
Yeah, it's pretty easy roguelike. I haven't died yet, though I came close when I fought Zapdos.
As you would.
Yeah, naturally. They've taken a lot of stuff that the newer Mystery Dungeon games had that the original didn't, and retroactively added it, so that helps a lot.
Oh, really?
Like what?
Like being able to hotkey more than one move. That's a thing. All the new stuff that's come out since Gen 3. So, you can get Gen 4 evolutions for Pokemon from Gens 1 through 3. Mega evolutions are added in. Stuff like that.
All right.
Yeah, a bunch of quality of life stuff. A lot of integrating the new things in. I haven't really done a lot of the main quest because I get a lot of side quests. I'm like, oh, I can just clear those out in one dungeon. And the next day I get 10 more. So oh. But I'm enjoying it. I'll have to go back to it eventually. I've just been distracted by other things.
Fair enough.
So is the quest content and story structure essentially identical to the old version, or have they tacked on additional side quests, or
Is the story the same as the original games?
I think so. I never played the original games. I didn't get into the Mystery Dungeon series until I met Jessica. And even then, that was a couple years before I actually played one. I know!
Doug's son is laughing at your expense because you never played the original gems?
Oh, it's fine. My son laughs at me because I do a lot of things.
So
I wish you could evolve before post game. That's a little annoying. What? Yeah, evolution isn't until post game.
That seems weird in a series that's literally all about growing stronger and evolving Pokemon.
Yeah.
But,
I'm curious how that's gonna work.
Huh.
Yeah, because I started as a Cyndaquil because best starter of all time.
Pretty good.
And
Indifferent.
and I got
No
to
Chikorita
level
or anything,
14.
but
Oh,
No
Chikorita's
Torchic,
trash.
but you know.
Torchic's also
Chikorita's-
fun.
Torchic's overrated.
Agreed.
Torchic started the firefighting years.
The firefighting years.
Blaziken objectively sucks.
It's just a big chicken.
Blaziken sucks.
He's just
He's
a
a
fucking
karate
humanoid
fighting chicken.
and everything. He helped start this terrible madness where Pokemon aren't really creatures or animals. They're just people with fur.
They're
Oh, I'm
Anthros.
sorry. It's better than the pile of ice cream.
If you want to like compare your favorite Pokemon to a pile of ice cream, yeah, you can do that. I don't think it's a great comparison for your. I don't think it's a great thing for your argument, though.
And also, at least it makes more sense than a haunted sword.
Again, you're like not helping your case by comparing your favorite Pokemon to the shittest ones possible, and be
Okay,
like, "Hey,
first
my
off,
pile of shit
it's a
is slightly
haunted-
better than their pile of shit."
It's a pair of haunted swords and a shield. Let's get that right. Second off, Aegislash is awesome.
Jesus
And third, Blaziken's just a big fire chicken.
What is wrong with a big fire chicken?
it's not a chicken for one.
Who says it's not a fire chicken?
It has two like huge legs with knees and everything.
Yeah.
It's
Are you telling
a
me
humanoid.
If a chicken has arms and legs, it's not a chicken?
It looks nothing like a chicken.
Humans have beaks, Chuck? Your argument makes no sense.
Jesus Christ! I wish we were talking about fucking Digimon.
Oh, I can talk
I would be
about
happy
that
to
and
talk
how
about
their
this.
designs have basically just become Gundams.
I mean,
I'm
that sounds
perfectly
actually
fine.
kind of cool, if I'm being honest.
Wererumon is still my favorite thing ever.
I don't know how I'm feeling about the reboot for Digimon coming up. I need to actually see it.
Same.
Never mind. I take it back. Let's go back to Pokemon. Let's go back.
So Blaziken.
So
Never mind, go
Blaziken's the
forward,
reason
never mind, go
why
forward,
the
go
Galar
forward.
starters look like trash.
Agreed. So, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon is a thing.
It
is
is.
a thing. Is
One
it
thing I
sprites or
really
3D models?
Hmm?
Is it sprites or 3D models, by the way, as far as the Pokemon themselves?
It is 3D models, but they do have sprites for some things.
Okay.
And they have like a cutesy, artsy style that makes them kind of look like sprites, don't they? Like it's a colorful, drawy thing.
Yeah, it's like it's a lot like Okami.
You have my attention.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of the art looks like it's the wood carving style that Okami did.
Cool.
And the music is phenomenal. Oh my god.
Ooh.
Awesome.
But one thing I really like and that I'm kind of exploiting is that you teach Pokemon moves through TMs, you know, same as always. But TMs have memory now. Like every move has memory of how strong it's gotten, what you've done to upgrade it, and so on. Like you can boost its power, its accuracy, its PP.
So
And that
TMs
applies-
have RPG have like lovable characteristics as well.
not just TMs, but any move you can learn. The moves level up. And those level ups are stored so that when any Pokemon knows that move, it retains the highest level.
Oh.
So teaching a bunch of Pokemon the same move makes it grow faster, and then all these Pokemon have a stronger move.
I think I'd actually like for that to be in regular Pokemon.
Right? And then you can also link moves together so that you do one and then immediately after you do a second move. So like Rain Dance Thunder for one, or Sunny Day Solar Beam, or just like Swords Dance and a big strong punch attack.
Oh, so So like chains, like chain
Yeah.
effects. Oh,
Yeah, you chain them, and they go consecutively without any interruption.
another feature I know it's sort of in Pokemon, but I would like for that to be more in Pokemon.
So in these games, are like the set number of Pokemon, or you can use like set to a very limited number, or is it like you can use like all 582 of them, or like what's the variety of Pokemon available?
For Mystery Dungeon, it is everything up to Gen 3 with some limited Pokemon from Gen 4.
So a
Pretty
VIP
much
list.
if...
So a VIP list.
Well, any... Like Eevee. Eevee had 2 evolutions that debuted in Gen 4. Glaceon and Leafeon, those are in.
Oh, okay.
Like Sneasel got an evolution, that's in. Like stuff that ties back to older lines. And
When are
then
we fine?
then Riolu and Lucario because they had a cameo in the original games, I guess.
That's neat, I guess.
Hmm.
But yeah, story's pretty much the same as any other mystery dungeon I've played. You're a human, you get turned to a Pokemon, you don't know why, you're trying to figure it out. You meet up with somebody, you start saving Pokemon because everyone's dying and getting captured, and go from there.
What a mystery.
In a dungeon.
Solving in a dungeon, I guess. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, if you're a fan of the series, it's more the same, and I think it's been refined to its best point so far. So definitely pick it up.
Well, I was actually thinking about it, and I actually can't remember the last time a Mystery Dungeon came out, or a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, I mean.
I believe it was a Super Mystery Dungeon for 3DS, and I think that was 2016.
So it's been a hot minute.
And like I did with Shield, I'm just using Pokemon I don't normally use. Like, I rotate between a Magnemite that you get, I picked up an Exeggutor, I've got a Houndour.
Nice.
Yeah, just whatever I feel like using. Taught Exeggutor Hyper Beam because I found a TM for it, and he just goes around blowing everything up.
Good.
Yeah, the last release was Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon in North America, released November 20th, 2015.
Wow.
3DS.
So basically 5 years ago.
Yeah, basically.
Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it. What other stuff you've been playing?
Well, the PSO 2 open beta is online.
I heard you nerds talking about this.
Not really much has changed since the closed beta, except now there are achievements, and, well, that's great for me.
Awesome.
They did announce a lot of costume packs, though, including a Ragdoll pack for all you fans of PSO 1, which should be a lot of you because it's pretty good mindless fun.
Mm-hmm.
Any weird server hiccups or anything with internet traffic being weird?
Not that I've noticed. I haven't put a lot of time into it. But as far as I know, there's no end date. They have, like, timed event schedules up to the end of the month. So at the very least, we'll be able to play until the end of March.
Cool.
All right.
I'm waiting for the PC version. Which supposedly is coming to Steam?
Yeah, I heard about that.
Apparently the Japanese manual for the game specifically states Xbox One and Steam.
Is it listed on Steam?
Not currently.
Not yet, apparently.
Apparently.
I know that as far as the game goes, we're going to get content up to episode 3. And Japan just got episode 6 a couple months ago, I think. So we still got a lot of content to get.
That's probably fine considering like, you know, there's plenty of people that didn't bother with like the English translations of the of PSO2 from Japan anyway, so
Yeah.
I sure didn't.
yeah. It's a lot of work. So cool.
So that's an open beta that anybody can participate in on Xbox?
Yeah, on Xbox One. And if you have Game Pass Ultimate, they've started a thing where you can get like bonus items in certain games when you start up. One of them being PSO2.
Bam. To my dismay, though, they don't have the Sonic trailer playing on loop in one of their lobbies anymore.
I was disappointed about that.
Not yet.
Not yet. They're waiting for the full release.
That's still the most surreal moment I had playing that game.
I'm gonna look this up right now.
What they need to do is they need to make it be that scene from the Sonic movie where they zoom in on fucking Kiryu's face from Yakuza 0. Just have that playing on loop.
Yakuza 0 also on Game Pass.
Yes.
It's very good.
Rejoice, you Xbox weebs, all 12 of you. You can really enjoy Yakuza 0.
It's also on the PC version.
Yes. Very good game.
I wish I had finished it.
Now if only we can get the other Yakuza games.
I mean, it sounds like you're getting some of them. If only there was a thing happening at some point in the future that would make it so PS4s are really cheap.
Yeah, if only.
If only. I can dream. Anyway, been playing anything else, Wally?
Yes, but I'll save it for another time.
Bam.
All right.
Sequel hook.
Hey, Chuck. There you go. Dun dun dun.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, Chuck. What you've been playing any video games?
Little bits here and there. Still a little bit of Stardew Valley. That's going well. Into my second year now.
Yay.
Getting married and having fun stuff. Still playing Rainbow Six Siege and everything. New season started.
Yay.
And new operators available.
Should I buy that game for $7?
If you were to buy Siege, I would probably recommend going with like the medium version. I think it's like $15 or $20 at the moment because it'll get you like the most basic of operators, and you want to go through like an annoying early unlock system and everything. But yeah, I would recommend. The thing goes on sale constantly, so I definitely recommend at least trying it and everything. I think it's a really fun game. It has a really steep learning curve and it's real tough, but that's kind of why I like it.
Okay.
Do you have any questions about it or anything that I can answer for you?
I mean, I know the basic mechanics of the game in and out. I guess my only concern is with how often they seem to release new operators. Is it realistic to earn those for free, or do you have to buy them every time?
So that probably varies depending on who you are and how good you are and everything. I don't really, so I play the game pretty frequently, but I suck and everything. And like how much renown, that's the free currency, you can earn is tied into like how many games or rounds you win at a time and everything. So pretty skilled players, I've been told, have no problem unlocking operators for free consistently, even the new ones and everything. But I can't really see myself unlocking operators that quickly. And there are ways around that with there's a way to farm renown that can greatly speed up your process, but it still takes hours, and I wouldn't really recommend it. So suffice to say, for mid to low tier players, yeah, you would probably need to buy operators in order to play them like in a reasonable time fashion.
Do they do packs of characters? Like, is there like those battle passes they do? Do those include characters?
So yeah, that's the entire point of the season passes these days is that, yeah, you'll get this year's operators and everything included with this thing. So the current one is like $25, and it'll get you the 6 operators coming out this year.
Okay.
And they have also, they used to do like yearly packs and everything of ones they did in the past and everything, but now I think they're doing like a total pack for like operator years 1 through like 0 through 4, which I think comes out to like, oh God, how much is it in in-game currency? I forget at the moment. It's tricky because like it's a half off thing, but like I already own a lot of them, so I'm not sure like how much it comes out to in in-game currency, but I think you would need like $30 or $5 worth of in-game currency for it and everything for like almost 50 operators or so and characters and whatnot. So depending on how you want to define like value and everything, it's a better prospect than they've had in the past, I think.
Gotcha. Cool.
But yeah, it's fun and everything, and they're supporting it, and I like it. I wish I was better at it.
Is it just team deathmatch, or are there other modes?
There are other modes. They're all team based and everything. There is a sort of player versus AI mode called Terrorist Hunt, in which you might be playing attack or defense against AI enemies and everything. That's actually the farming method. But it can be nice for warming up or just killing time with friends. But yeah, all the other modes are team-based. There's hostage extraction, which is my personal favorite, which involves either protecting or extracting a hostage. There's secure, which is essentially just king of the hill of sorts. And then there's the preferred rank method, which is what all the fucking eSports folks insist on playing, which is bomb, which involves using diffusers and everything. It's fine and everything, but I kind of wish hostage rescue was involved. Hi, Lennon.
Cool.
Yes, you can also play. You can't play hostage in ranked. I'm upset about it too.
Let Lennon hunt terrorists.
Come on, Ubisoft. What are you scared of?
Why are you taking away Lennon's ACOG?
Why are you challenging his esports career?
But yeah, fun shoot 'em up video game, and I'm enjoying it.
Cool.
Outside of those things, I did finally play that Moe era romantic thingamajigger. I think I talked about last time. So that was sort of. Sorry.
No, just confirming that you did talk about it because I remember you.
Yeah.
Saying
I'm glad someone remembers what I say because I don't. So yeah, it was that weird romantic thing that seemed like it was kind of going for a Doki Doki Literature Club thing about it's actually not what you think it is.
Is it actually what you think it is, and that's the twist?
Well, the thing is, it's kind of weird in that it's weird, ominous vibes kind of beat you over the head like really early on. Like even before hitting start, like you can tell that there's something very ominous by the title screen with its music and display. And the early setup involves a lot of foreshadowing with dreams and like reality and all that jazz. And it kind of feels like it's beating you over the head. And then that stuff kind of falls away for the most part until like the very end. And then it kind of like shoves in a lot of themes and messages that I'm not really sure like it. Have you guys ever had like an experience where you felt as though a plot twist wasn't really earned because it didn't really go against the grain or didn't really... I feel like the entire point of a plot twist is that it needs to like be foreshadowed and like be examinable from the beginning in order to actually have any sort of real substance or bite. So if one just comes out...
It needs to be alluded to.
Yeah, and it needs to have like actual substantive meaning and to like be contrary to the substance that was going on in the story. Like, oh, that character wasn't who you actually thought they were. They were actually this. And the point that I'm trying to make is that like the final moral message that the thing is actually about, I'm not convinced is actually like properly alluded to in the minute-to-minute story. Maybe I'm missing something because I'm very stupid, but it just feels kind of forced and weird, like it was tacked on in a way.
You thought I was a character was very interesting, but even though you've only talked to me 3 times, it turns out I was the murderer.
Damn it, Joseph, Joestar.
Ha 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 ha. Is it that kind of lame twist? Where
maybe.
like like a murder mystery where it turns out the murderer was somebody you saw at the beginning, but like they disappear for like 90% of the movie.
It's similar, I think. Maybe somebody else here should play it and tell me if I'm crazy or stupid or anything. Because it's not a terrible experience. It's still free, and I think it's entertaining for what it is. But
what is it called?
Yeah, it Moe Era. That's MOE space ERA.
Gotcha.
So yeah, kids, feel free to play it yourselves because it's free. In case I didn't mention that, play yourselves and tell me that I'm stupid. I appreciate it.
There was one that came out on Steam that I thought looked a little interesting because it seemed kind of funny, where it basically sounded like a guy. It seems like the whole game is facetious in its setup, but basically it seems like the central premise is a guy signing up for an internship and he ends up at like an all-male like massage parlor.
Yeah, I saw that. That looked pretty cute too.
Kind of curious about that.
So yeah, aside from Moe Era and Stardew and Siege and everything, also replaying Flower because I forgot I had a copy of that, and I figured, hey, with the world fucking crumbling and everything, might be nice to have a nice little peaceful Flower video game.
Nice little distraction where you're just a pile of pollen and you're just flying through the sky.
Flying through, listening to some beautiful music and everything. Exactly. So yeah, Flower is also good. You can also listen to its soundtrack on Spotify, if I'm not mistaken, or on YouTube or somewhere. And you should, at the very least, do that.
Flower.
So I think that's
both very good. I wish Flow had come to PC because I like that game too.
Same.
Oh well.
So yeah, that's my stuff basically. Also in school, and that's taking up a lot of my time. Wish I could play more. Fuck me.
Fair enough. No rest for the wicked.
Word. Oh, I guess I did play Animal Crossing a bit with my girlfriend and everything. It was fun. I didn't get to. I bought it for her as a gift and everything, and just dropped it off to her before V-Day. So didn't get to play for a whole long. It's mostly just so she can play during the quarantine because we're not going to see each other until the end of it, most likely. But yeah, those like that 1 hour I played with her, just picking up weeds alongside her and everything, was nice.
Aw.
Also, like, it seemed like the store like sold out of that game real fast, so I project it's doing pretty well.
Oh, it is.
Awesome.
So that's me. Take us to the news headlines.
Yes, the news.
Da 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 da.
News.
I'm gonna integrate that into the regular sound.
No, just play the regular stuff over it and everything, and just pump up the volume on both.
Oh, that sounds good. Yeah, I'll do that. Now,
da 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 da.
News.
Da da.
So, everybody, Chief. So, have you guys heard about the service GeForce Now?
You mean GeForce later?
GeForce at some point after people sign agreements.
Please, and keep them.
GeForce after future.
GeForce Now asterisk. See attachments.
GeForce, and then they like start to say now, and then it pops up like that YouTube like loading circle. So NVIDIA decided to take the Apex Legends approach of not really mentioning anything to anybody and then just dropping a new service on people. This thing was in closed beta for a long time and they weren't talking about it, but they just kind of like dropped like open access for everybody, like just kind of out of nowhere. And essentially what it is it's another one of those game streaming services. It is free to NVIDIA users, and you can stream games off of their hardware that they run off a server somewhere. And then you can pay $5, I think, for a longer play session. I think free play sessions are a limited time of like an hour or 2 hours or something like that. Yeah. So, I mean, you can run it on a phone, you can run it on a laptop, you can run it on anything and just play stuff. And then I think you have to pay the $5 to have access to like ray tracing and 4K, I think. which, whatever, I guess. If you want to pay more for a better experience, then that's your decision to do. So,
Sure. Have any of us tried it? Do we know? Can we confirm its quality or lack thereof?
I have no data.
It certainly seems fine from what a lot of people have said. I don't really know myself, but from what I have seen, a lot of people seem to have fairly positive opinions about it. Similar opinions to Xbox's like xCloud stuff.
Well, that's been pretty well received.
Yeah. But the problem is, a lot of developers have taken umbrage, and publishers, I should also clarify, have taken umbrage with the fact that this was just made available to people and no one was actually really talked about with this service. So a lot of people have already pulled their games. Activision, I believe, has pulled everything. I don't think Borderlands pulled their stuff. Let's see what else. The Long Dark developer pulled his game, specifically saying that nobody asked him, and he doesn't appreciate his game being available on a service that he wasn't informed of. So
that seems weird that they're even able to do that.
Yeah.
Well, it's literally just it's not giving you access to games you don't have access to on your Steam library. Like, it's connected to your Steam library, and otherwise it's just running off a computer somewhere else.
Oh. So then what's the problem?
Nobody asked anybody. And I'm also guessing some developers and publishers would like some sort of money in exchange for this stuff. So, I mean, look at it from Google's perspective, where people are actively running away from Stadia, but that's also because Stadia's deal for making games on it is nothing. It's make games on our service because it's so cool.
Please.
Become one with us.
Hello?
Please.
Hello?
Oh, God. Don't leave us alone with Destiny. It's so cold.
So cold. And also, Doom Eternal doesn't run at 4K. We're very sorry.
We're sorry to the two people who were hoping to play Doom Eternal at 4K on Google Stadia.
My son is very disappointed. But yeah, so I don't know. This did at least open an interesting conversation of, so in a scenario like this, where it's not giving you access to additional games you didn't have access to, but it is a different service, technically speaking, do you think developers should expect money exchange for something like this? Because I'm asking mostly because I actually don't know. I've gone back and forth on my opinion of it.
Yeah, I'm not sure about money changing hands. I could understand people being a little iffed about an entire service, giving people access to their products, even though somebody else fucking bought them. So I could see people being miffed about not communicating over it and everything, but I'm not sure that money should really change hands or even be able to, if anything, maybe Steam should get a cut, if anything, I would think, given that you're kind of interfacing with their infrastructure and everything. But even that, I think, is a bit of a stretch.
Yeah, I don't know.
What about you, Wally?
It just seems really weird that they'd have access to everything without contacting the publishers.
Well, they're literally just running the games on a computer in their office and then streaming it out to people. It's the same as any of those. It's not like they're natively running the engine in some weird VM or something like that. It's literally just streaming hardware.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of an equivalent for another medium, but I'm having trouble coming up with something.
You see, yeah, this GeForce Now thing is kind of different because it's not a game library. It's not giving you access to additional things. It's just going, hey, you have your Steam games here. You're I don't know, on a work trip or something, and you can't run your games on your desktop because taking that on a long trip is dangerous and unnecessary. So just play it on this. And I don't know. It's I kind of feel like it's another one of those, this is going to get weirder as time goes on type of arguments.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm feeling.
Because yeah, it at some point I do think you should at least talk to people before doing something like this, but at the same time, in a scenario where no one is exchanging money for the service in the first place, I do see a scenario where at some point I feel like you run into the argument of artistic intent, where the original creator doesn't intend for you to experience the game like this, but also in a scenario where you're selling a product, artistic intent only goes so far, because at the end of the day, I paid you for a product that you were selling and I purchased it. So anything that you have to say about what I want to do with it outside of specific scenarios is kind of mute. But
Word.
I don't know. I just thought it was a weird scenario, and I wanted to talk about it for a minute.
No, thank you for bringing it up.
Yeah, it's something we should definitely keep an eye on, see what comes up out of it.
Yeah. So speaking of things to not keep an eye on, bad news, Wally, you lost your roguelite mode for Bloodstained.
Oh no.
Oh no.
So like, did they hit this milestone in the Kickstarter and they're just like reneging on it, be like, sorry, money's hard?
Well, it's more they were just like, we can't do it. The way they built the game, building a roguelite mode into it would be extremely, if not completely, impossible.
Given the current resources and everything. Yeah. Kind of sucks, and that Kickstarters are sort of in a tight spot in that making big promises like that can help bring in a lot of extra donations, but also like it's actually fulfilling that huge list of promises is down the line and everything after running into difficulties in development and marketing and any other number of things is also very difficult. Sort of like how... Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, you. No, you.
Finish.
It's sort of like how Mighty Number 9 promised to come out on literally every system imaginable, and they didn't. And obviously that helped grow their potential base of like contributions and everything, but also being able to develop across that many platforms was a nightmare and didn't even come to fruition for a number of them.
Still waiting for my Vita port.
Just staring out the window. Talk about Mighty Number 9.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, there was actually a time in which everyone was worried that game just wasn't going to come out. So on the one hand, it really sucks, especially in a scenario where you promised people that this was going to be in it. But at the same time, I don't know.
Have they promised to do anything instead, like as a substitute?
I don't know. I don't think so, but I don't know. So I can't comment on that.
It would be nice if they did something that was within their power with that extra funds or something, if possible. But
yeah, that'd be nice. That would be nice.
No, well.
Let's see here. Did you guys hear about not good old games anymore, but GOG's new refund policy?
They're not called good old games?
They're not?
They reneged that name a couple of years ago.
I had no idea.
I'm
really sad now.
I wish it was still good old games, because that's what I love calling it, because that is accurate to what the site is, but oh well.
Yeah.
So what's the refund policy now in comparison to what it was once?
It went from 7-day, no questions asked, 2-hour play limit to now it is literally a 30-day, no questions asked refund policy, period.
Jeez.
Oh,
regardless of playtime or anything.
That's pretty nice. And also I worry about exploitable.
I mean, exploit to how?
I mean, I'm sure they have measures in place to actually stop people that are actually abusing the service, but at the same time, I don't know. They're such an interesting company because, yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of all of their business practices across everyone involved with every level of that group of workers, but I do appreciate their stance of staying behind consumers literally 100% of the time.
Certainly seems like it.
To the point of even making it so they noticed that people were torrenting Witcher 3, and they were releasing un-DRM'd versions of the patches for the game too, just to make sure that the torrented people weren't having a lesser experience.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. But yeah, I hope that policy doesn't screw them over. I would like to see more consumer-friendly practices like that in the future.
Yeah, I get the sense. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just agreeing. That's all.
Yeah. I get the sense they don't care because I don't remember if it was last year or the year before, but they announced that they made $1,600 for one fiscal year at COG.
Oh.
Now that should be noted, that was not a year that Witcher 3 came out, so so for what it's worth. Let's take a look here. Did you guys see that Ghosts of Tsushima and weirdly enough, Plants vs. Zombies 3 got release dates?
Saw Ghost of the Ghost one. I didn't even know that PVZ3 existed until you gave me these headlines.
Yes. So that's a weird thing. So if you feel like playing Plants vs. Zombies 3, I think it's out. I don't know.
I tried to look through the Google store because apparently there's like a alpha version of it or something, I thought, according to the store page, but I can't find it.
So question mark on that for the time being, but I guess that game exists now. That's cool, I guess. I do like Plants vs. Zombies.
Yeehaw, this is your rumor mill segment?
Maybe?
Rumor question mark?
Well,
am I allowed to yeehaw?
You are allowed one yeehaw, sir.
Yeehaw.
Shiver me timbers. This is Chuck's suspicion segment. PVZ3 may exist or might not.
Oh, God.
This has been my suspicion segment.
Oh, gosh, Chuck, thanks for them suspicions. Anyway, you can play Ghost of Tsushima this summer, I believe, is what the release date is. I don't remember.
Yeah, a lot of Last of Us and Ghosts coming out in summer, so going to be a big summer for Sony, assuming that the world still exists.
I'm like slightly worried about that game, if only because like that game structurally looks very different from the Infamous games, and I don't really know what that means.
I also feel as though I don't feel as though I have a good understanding of what the gameplay loop of is exactly.
So you have to find a guy that smells like sunflowers and team up with two guys and some little girl. And there's a lot of hip hop that happens.
I feel like you're referencing a thing, and I don't know what it is.
He definitely is.
Is that Samurai Champloo or something?
Yes.
Okay. It is.
Man, it's been ages since I've seen that show. I need to see it again.
It's good.
It is. I remember liking it.
So anyway, that's cool, I guess. Let's see here. Oh, right. Your boy, Platinum Games, finishing out its wonderful 101 Kickstarter, $2.2 million.
Which is like 3,000% more than they needed.
It sure is.
They didn't even need anything. They were just testing how many people wanted to buy it.
They sure didn't. So yay Platinum, yay all of those versions of those games, and yay the orchestrated version of multiple songs from the soundtrack, which was the final stretch goal they reached.
I hear the soundtrack's real good.
I'm super excited to hear those orchestral tracks.
Very excited. I also saw so before all this shit was happening, they did make it out to I think it was PAX East or PAX West. Where they did actually show off the Switch version running, and it does look good. So, for anyone that was curious,
how did the
5-minute time like demo? What's up?
So, for those who are unaware, Wonderful 101, it's a character action fight 'em, beat 'em up thingamajigger, and a key tenet of it is that you like swap between weapons or fighting styles by drawing. The original version had you swapping between weapons and styles by drawing on the Wii U gamepad and everything and different symbols and whatnot. So how is that swapped here? Is it just like with analog controls?
It is with analog controls, which the original game had anyway. So
right. I forgot about that.
which I'm perfectly fine with. I'm more than assuming that at least the Switch version is probably still going to have those touch controls, whereas the other versions are outside of PC. I actually don't know if they would still put those in like for mouse or something like that, but I literally went out of my way to never use the touch controls in Wonderful 101, so I have no problem with just doing it with the analog stick. So it reminds me of the exact same of Okami. So
Trying to remember the last time I even used the Switch's touchscreen.
well, I play Mario Maker a lot, so mine is fairly often.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah.
Other than that, no, not a lot.
Well, here's the thing then, Doug. You can do it analog, I'll do it touchscreen, and then we'll compare notes.
Okay, that sounds good.
Fucking nerds.
Yay, Wonderful 101. Very good game.
I should probably play it again because I didn't give it a very good chance last time.
That's fine.
I've yet to play it, so I'm excited about a Switch port.
Very good. Let's see here. This has nothing to do with gaming news, but I just want to personally say, fuck you, Creative Future, forever, you fucking asshole dickheads.
Do you want to explain this to the kids at home?
I can do a brief thing where they basically put out a giant expose and sent it to multiple news outlets claiming that that Plex, the home media server, was encouraging piracy and are the reason for downed digital and physical sales.
And would you like to tell the kids at home what Plex is?
It is a home media software in which you are able to take digital versions of movies that you purchased or backed up from your physical versions, put them in a basically a folder on your desktop or a second computer, and you basically have a Netflix style interface that you can use on PS4, Xbox One. I don't think it's on Switch, PC, Roku, most streaming apps.
So yeah.
Phone.
Companies blaming other companies and softwares for piracy when it's super literally not even their fault.
Yes.
It's not even like directly. You can't even download anything through Plex, can you? It's strictly like a streaming Yeah.
Yeah. So just wanted to personally say, go fuck yourself, Creative Future.
I don't even use the service, and I will also say, fuck you, Creative Future.
I've never even heard of the service, and I will say, fuck you, Creative Future.
We're all here together.
There we go. Speaking of solidarity and being sad about things, do you guys remember the Nintendo PlayStation?
Yeah.
I might, but I don't want Shigeru Miyamoto to break into my window and break my kneecaps. So I'm going to say no, I don't, and say we should probably skip this story.
Chuck signed an NDA at Fetus to not disclose the Nintendo PlayStation.
There's some very aggressive Pikmin on my computer desk looking at me threateningly and holding baseball bats.
That is adorable.
It is, and I've never been so terrified and amazed at the same time.
So
just don't eat the white ones, you'll be fine.
I'm worried they're going to eat me.
I'd imagine the purple ones probably taste either like meat or like onions.
I thought they taste like grapes.
Nah,
no, they're all going to taste like carrots.
Oh, that makes sense. Anyway.
When's Pikmin
Nintendo
4 Nintendo?
Excellent question.
Never. You'll get it in all of our deaths.
I'll get it when I get a new F-Zero.
Considering we've gotten almost, like, Pikmin 3 has now joined the extremely shortening list of games that have not migrated over from the Wii U.
Yeah.
It's probably common. You know that's on a whiteboard somewhere in Nintendo Japan.
It's that one. It's what is that other? It's Pikmin 3. It's that Fatal Frame game that came out, and
the Prime
Mario
Trilogy.
World, and the Prime Trilogy, and Mario World, 3D World. I desperately want 3D World to come out on the Switch. I like that game.
Word.
What What the fuck was I talking? Oh, right.
Nintendo PlayStation.
Yes, the Nintendo PlayStation went up for auction recently.
Or the Super NES CD-ROM?
Huh?
I was just Googling it, and I thought that was also what it's being called. The Nintendo PlayStation Super NES CD-ROM prototype.
If there is another name for it, I don't know. I just know it is a Nintendo, and it says PlayStation on it, which I think is funny.
Yeah, it exists. It's real, kids.
That could have been instead of the N64.
It sure could have, and the entire trajectory of everything involving human history would have changed.
The Microsoft Sega Dreamcast is in another universe laughing at us.
It sure is. Anyway, it went up for auction recently and sold for historic, unbelievable hundreds of thousands of dollars. Sold for $360,000.
It's pretty amazing.
This one of a kind, never going to exist again novelty that is a miracle that it works at all still.
It's a miracle that still exists.
Yeah, you would have thought that either Sony or Nintendo would have gone out of the way to fucking destroy it.
Yeah.
Hired hitmen to find anyone who owns it and just kill them and destroy the evidence.
Yeah. $360,000. Sold to one of the co-founders of Pet.com.
That's right, Wennen.
That's right, Pets.com.
Your one-stop shop for pets.
A guy that says that he wants to open his own museum to show it off to people.
What a hero, I guess. Maybe.
What a hero, I guess. That news made me a little sad, but oh well.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully other people get to see it and experience it if that guy is true to his word.
Yeah, but also just donate it to a damn museum.
Yeah.
It belongs in a museum.
It does. Actually, speaking of museums, did you guys see that I believe it was Harvard completely rebuilt the devotion game that got banned by the Chinese government that was out of Taiwan?
Really? I
Really?
thought I'd heard something similar like this, but I wasn't sure of the specifics.
Yeah, they were able to recover a download of it and have put it up for preservation for people.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Fuck you, Chinese government. You don't like your Winnie the Pooh memes.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Moving on.
That is all the news I've got currently, unless you guys think I missed anything drastic.
Not that I can think of.
And also
let me check the brief script we have.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking at it now, and I think you got everything.
Yeah, we got everything in order.
For the first time.
Ever. In the history.
First and only.
And last.
And last.
Hope you guys enjoyed this extra high quality episode of Alternative Input. We'll never work this hard ever again. It's all downhill from here.
Never, ever, ever, ever.
You thought the show was shit before. Ha ha ha.
Just wait till we run out of toilet paper. Topical humor.
Memes. Relevant diseases and viruses. Hope we don't go outside and get coronavirus.
Oh. We'll see y'all next time, everybody.
Thank you guys so much for joining us.
You can send us emails. You can send us emails for the time being while society is still holding up.
Where can they send them, Doug?
They can send them to questions@alternativeinput.com because we have a website because we're real motherfuckers. What was that email again? Someone else?
Questions@alternativeinput.com?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I actually got it for once.
You got it.
So you're saying it's questions at alternativeinput.com?
That is correct. It is, in fact, questions at alternativeinput.com.
See, I always thought it was floating up questions at
Spot-
alternativegmail.input.
I literally had to fight myself from saying that as I was saying the right thing. I can feel it in my throat, trying to desperately to escape.
No, that's the corona.
I was so proud of both of you.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. Send us emails if you feel like it.
Please, we're lonely.
Social distancing. 6 feet apart.